Hello, welcome back to Wet Paints. Today we're talking about something most of us never were taught to build, our self-esteem. So here I have a house, and this house represents your inner life. The outside represents like the outside noise represents validation, and the door represents your worth.
If it feels fresh.
You're in the right place. And with this house, not everyone deserves to enter your house, especially after you've healed. Self-esteem and validation gets new victims. Stop, y'all. For a long time myself, since I was a really young kid, I want to say middle school is where I started, when you start maturing and everything. And I struggled with self-esteem, probably the worst, probably about seventh grade. And I would do things like, this is crazy now that I think about it. I would see other people and I would like envy them. And I'd be like, oh, I like that person's hairstyle. So I would try to like copy that person. Or if I felt like somebody was really pretty. And I did that for a long time in middle school. And I tell you, I looked exactly the same as I do now as I did in middle school. So, but that low self-esteem caused me to do very foolish things, like poor decision making, poor friendships, poor relationships that went on to my adulthood. I think I'm on that. There we go. Thought I had it all. And I also got some facts too. Psychology, and I wrote it down. Studies in psychology show external validation activates the same reward pathways in the brain as addictive behaviors. And I think that that is true because a lot of people, like, that's how I don't know, I think it's,
Nothing here is
I don't know how to explain it. But I do feel like the more validation someone receives from people, the more they'll like repeat that behavior. So I believe that to be very true.
Sit slightly behind the beat.
And needing outside validation too, like you do desperate things, I feel or like back in the first time I was single. Well, first let's go back more to like the relationships. So one thing, my self-esteem and my self-worth, I guess, caused me to do was jump from one relationship to another. Even though like every time I did it, like the relationship failed, like it was built on such a horrible foundation. Like never open one door without closing the last. And it took me so many relationships to like realize that. Or you seek attention from the wrong people, or like social media is huge now. And a lot of people seek validation from social media. Like when I first started my social media journey, that was like really important to me for some reason. And I think that was just self-esteem issues that I dealt with most of my life. I think I was 40 years old, 4 years ago, when I like finally was like really developed a love and for myself that I should have had the whole time. I'll say this though, growing up and having low self-esteem, I was never a follower. So that's good. That's a plus on my low self-esteem journey. But self-worth is so important. Like you have to definitely know your own worth. And a lot of us, the reason why we develop low self-esteem, it's from childhood stuff. Even though when I think back of my childhood, Nobody's ever like, some parents, like one parent came to my job, her little daughter was stealing. And I did not agree with how she handled this, but she brought the little girl back in there. She was like cussing her out in front of everybody. And then she called her an ugly ass. And that's just shocking to me that you would talk to your child that way. Even though she was stealing, but still, like, you should not call your children names. It's definitely going to affect her. I used to not take criticism very well either. Like, if somebody criticized me about something, I would want to change it. Like, I remember being maybe 18,
Love somebody so deep.
and I wish I had pictures of myself when I was 18, but I was very small. But in my eyes, I was not small. And I was constantly comparing myself to everybody else. You know what comparison is? It's a thief of joy. I think envy kind of is a thief of joy too. This painting's not going to be very colorful, but it's gonna be pretty. I'm gonna go to a bigger brush. A lot of people nowadays need validation. It's crazy. That's something I'm learning too. Like, even now, as I grow, I'm still growing, I'm still progressing. When I like, and it's the irony in it though. So I do like things at work. Like, I go out my way to do things, whether people notice it or not. And for a while, people weren't noticing them. I mean, they noticed the changes, but they didn't know who was doing the changes. And I never said anything, just thought. And now, like, I don't know. I guess it's just my new boss. Like, it's crazy the stuff that she, like, I be wondering if she makes stuff up. Like, our asset protection person came in, and I was talking to her, and my boss said to me, she loved you. She thought you were so positive. She had all these good things to say. And then the district manager came in there over this past weekend, and I talked to her. And and my boss said the same thing about her. And I'm like, is she making this shit up? Or are these people really? Because this stuff, I mean, I've been there for a year and a half. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not a good worker, but maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. I just keep feeling like sometimes she be extra, and I just don't understand why. Anyways, it has nothing to do with my self-esteem and my validation. I just some people do, like, they need that, like, to survive. They need someone to constantly pat them on the back. I'm an advocate for pat your own self on the back. Because not even the people that you think clapping for you, they not clapping for you. So you got to clap for yourself. People that you never, ever in a million years thought would, like, not be who they say they are. I had a friend that friends for over 25 years. Like, this girl have done so much for me in the last 25 years. Thought she was really like my ride or die friend. But then her real, like, What really made me question is every time I would go hang with her, she would always talk about her other friend. And in my mind, I'm like, if you're talking about your other friend to me, that means you're talking about me to her. To her. And I don't think that's very friendly. I don't think that's a friend. And that is part of outside noise. We don't have time for gossip and drama. Too old for that. I still love her. I'm so grateful for everything she's ever done for me. I kind of feel like when I was a charity project, or so she thought I was a charity project, that's what made her like be my friend. And when I was no longer a charity project, or like I've always been the one that if we go out, I'm in the background, I'm sitting at the table, I'm the watcher. I'm just sit back and watch. I'm not the life of the party. I'm not trying to get any attention. And ever since like my whole social media and everything, like everything just changed. It's sad, really, but definitely shows who's a genuine person. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not the bestest friend in the world either. I'm not very communicative. I don't call anyone. I'm like a very peaceful spirit. So I spend like a lot of time by myself, but which some say is not healthy, or some say, oh, that's a sign of depression. I could say, no, I'm not depressed. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in my life. So depression is not in my mind. Because this is what I do. I paint. It's very therapeutic. I'm no longer like this overthinker. I always used to be an overthinker too. Just overthink every little thing. Think of any like funny stories as a kid that today me would be like, what the hell was you thinking? I mean, definitely with my low self-esteem, like the last time I was single, like I swear I would date people just out of desperation. Like that's how bad my self-esteem was. Like being by myself was just so terrible. But back then I wasn't painting either. I didn't really have that outlet back then that I do now. Or I didn't know I had this outlet back then. Funny story how I started painting. So I started painting in 2021. I've always been an artist. I always used sketching as my coping mechanism. Well, before I started drinking, and alcohol was my coping mechanism. But in 2021, I was HR at a Walmart, and one of my employees' daughters painted me this little canvas, and it was actually the island of Puerto Rico. It was really cute. I wish I could find it. It's probably in my closet. I moved, so. But and that's what inspired me to like. I thought to myself, hey, I should try to paint on a canvas. And how I first started painting, this is crazy. So the reason why everything looks so like, so I print my images out, then I trace them onto my canvas. So I'll create the image digitally, print it out, trace it onto my canvas, and then paint it. And at first, what I would do is there's this program that you can get that you can print out poster size paintings. And I would, same thing I do now, tape it all together. But then I would take a pencil and I would color the whole back of the paper. Let me tell you, one time I did a huge painting. It was so beautiful. It was a cat and it was like all different colors. And it was so huge. I think it was like, oh my gosh, like almost half of this wall. And I colored the whole back with pencil. It took me like an hour. And why that is so funny is while I was doing that, there's something called carbon paper. This is where you live and you learn. That is literally a paper that is just carbon that you just put over your whatever your paper or canvas or whatever you're going to trace, and you put your image over it. And you just trace over your image, and it's like pencil on your paper. So it's so crazy that the process I used to do. But ever since I painted that, got that painting and started painting, I've been painting ever since. And I also see like from my 2021 paintings to my paintings today, the growth. There's a lot of growth. Like, so anybody out there that's an aspiring artist, keep going. Because the more that you do it, better you will be. I know what found. Probably went through like 3 logo ideas since 2021. But I finally landed on one because it's simple. I could put it on a shirt and it's just easy. My other one was like, so I'm like so in love with the Puerto Rican flag. So my logo had like that in it originally, but it was just too hard to put on a shirt. Because I'm a do-it-yourselfer and I do everything myself. And my little machine, it was just too much to put on a shirt. So I simplified it so I can put it on everything. Like my own walking advertisement. And as you can see, I don't struggle with self-esteem anymore. I'm very much happy with who I am and who God is making me to be. Definitely came a long way. Boy, did I. Said, man, I wish I would have felt the way I feel about myself now back then. I think I would have made way better choices. 'Cause I think like when you seek validation from people, you get in environments you shouldn't be in, you get around people you shouldn't be around. Some people with low self-esteem are easily influenced. So like somebody will make one suggestion and they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. It's crazy. And I do feel like just people, when you're around certain people too, they become envious, which is not a good feeling to have. But we are human, so that is a feeling that we might have. That kind of hurts your self-esteem too. Or when you allow someone to make you feel some type of way. My coping mechanism now for stuff like that, if I'm around somebody who's like so like, I don't know, I be feeling that so heavy. If I feel like the energy just not right, or I don't know, I get annoyed so easy. So like I could be around somebody for 15 minutes and be like, ah, I gotta get away from this person or I'm gonna slap them in the throat. Like that's why I'm like, that's why I don't date. Like, because I'm just so afraid. Like, I'm gonna be on a date, he gonna say some stupid shit, and I'm gonna be like, man, I'm just gonna go get in my car and just drive fuck off. I'm just so intolerant. I can't take it. Then I know people be like, she's so mean. People call me mean all the time, or they call me stuck up, or they be like, why you open the message and didn't respond? It's just crazy. Or like someone just messaged me the other day. I was like, He said I was hard to read. And I'm like, and I didn't even want to go back and forth with him because I feel like maybe that's a tactic to like get me to in conversation with him. But for me, it was like, I don't understand how I'm hard to read. Like, I feel like I'm pretty straightforward. I definitely don't give nobody my papers on here. Don't give anybody the wrong impression. Like, it's hard to it's hard to tell with some guys. Like, I don't know if he did that because like he was trying to like spark a conversation out of me. It didn't work. Because usually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to social media. So before for you and explain to you nothing. I just don't care that much. And that's not like to be cold. Like a lot of people will like message me and be like, but why don't you ever message me back? Like, cause what do you want me to say? Like I don't or people be like, they ask me for my phone number. I'm a very honest person, so I'll let them know, like, I'm not gonna give it to you because I'm not gonna answer it. I'm not really a telephone person. I don't know. I feel like whenever I start like giving people attention, they become disappointments. Like they say stupid shit or they do stupid shit. And then I'll tell you about this guy today. So around my birthday time, I met this dude that he works at a radio station. And over my birthday weekend, we like went and seen Cat Williams or whatever. But just the whole situation was just weird to me. And mind you, I did not give this dude any indication like I was interested in him or anything. I was like, yeah, I'll go to the show or whatever. Like, so I went to the show and he doesn't drink and he doesn't do like anything. Like he had some kind of surgery or whatever. So he can't drink and he can't, and it's like in my mind, I was like, that's cool. And I'm all about like health and take care of yourself and all that. But what fun is that? I don't know. It just wasn't my situation, I guess. So I didn't like, then he took me out to eat the next day, right? It's like we met up at the IHOP or whatever. This is what really blew me. IHOP is not an expensive place. It really ain't. This guy, first of all, we waited there to check out for at least 15 minutes because he wanted this coupon, them to take this coupon. And I mean, I'm not bougie or anything like, but that just was, I was done at that point. I was like, yeah, he's never going to see me again. But he messaged me today and asked me if I want to go to a comedy show. Like, I ain't talked to you in months. And I don't get it. Crazy, man. First of all, I wouldn't even want to talk to me because I was talking all kind of shit about him online. I didn't say who he was, but still, I mean, if he seen it, he knew who I was talking about. So for him to invite me back out, wow, you can't have fun with a person that can't drink. He don't eat nothing. He can't drink nothing. Like you shouldn't even be dating right now. That's just my opinion. My house looks, I like it. It reminds me of like those, what is it called? Like the forget what it's called. I love those kind of houses. They don't have very many here because of where we are, but that's what reminds me of the Art Deco house. You question why I chose the color brown for it, but you know, it's fine. I think it looks pretty cool. As I said, was talking about that story about the man with the coupon and texting me after all these months to invite me out to a comedy show. He just texted me right now. I don't even want to read the text. 'Cause I'm still flabbergasted at why he's texting me. I don't understand. Then there's this other dude that definitely not interested, definitely don't talk to him at all. And he still be messaging me. Like, do dudes think like, oh, she's just playing hard to get? Because I'm definitely not. I never understand the male mind. I didn't put that dude on blast or anything, but the dude with the coupon I did, I would not be calling me. I think I might leave the brown like messy like that. That looks kind of cool. Mm. It's supposed to be like graffiti. My little reference papers below me. Paint the word. I got this cool chalkboard paint. This chalkboard paint really works. But the house is so dark that you can't hardly see the. See what you do. A nasty habit of wanting to put my hand down. It's hard to paint on a canvas like that. It's a little challenge. I'm just gonna lighten up around the words. Oh, you know another fun fact too about low self-esteem? It raises the chances of anxiety and depression too. Depression for sure. I think that was the cause of my depression when I was younger.
Dr. Tracks in the lab again. Feeling the groove. There's some sort of love. Tell me what's your flavor. Let's go. When it comes to love, tell me what's your flavor. Sweet, spicy, smooth, girl, I'll be your savior. Consider no need for no labels. You and me together turn my world into a flame. When it comes to love, tell me what's your flavor. Hard like honey, but your vibe got a layer. You could take it slow or fast, no chaser. When it comes to love, baby, what's your flavor? I like that cocoa glow, that confidence flow. She don't take the limelight, she just steals the show. Independent with ambition. Yeah, I see the vision. Her love is real, not superstition. Got a playlist on repeat. Vibes on black. Keep moving in sync. No need to move fast. She's a mix of peace and passion. Every look got my heart intact. When she speaks, it's poetry and soul. Got me thinking long term, not just goals. So then it comes a twist of both. Maybe you come when the nights get cold. Chocolate dreams, strawberry fine. Turn your energies are natural. You the rhythm to my mind. Melody to my kind. The touch of me, you redefine what it means to love. What it means to this connection hit deep.
To make a light brown.
You got that flavor the world can't clone, so tell me, girl, which one's your maybe you mint fresh, make you brush up slow. Maybe you that midnight glow that I can't let go. Whatever you taste, style match your tone. Cause when it comes to love, being awesome. Your flavor, sweet spicy, I'll be your we don't consider. No need for no label. You and me together turn the world into a babe. When it comes to the, tell me what's your flavor. Hot like honey, but your vibe got layer. We can take it slow or fast, I'm faithful. When it comes to love, baby, what's your flavor? That's just trash.
Just thought about too. You ever like reminisce on like people that you used to date? Like especially if you were like in a time in your life where you did deal with self-esteem. Like I swear I like reminisce on. I'd be like, oh my gosh, today me, stuff you got to go through just to learn. Crazy. I mean, I guess it's for the best. I wouldn't be who I am today hadn't I did the foolish things that I've done in my life and dated the people I've dated in my life. I'm so incredibly selective right now. I don't even have any friends. Like that's how that is how deep it really is. I start making friends with people and they'll be like, oh, this person is so cool. And then they'll want I met this dude, right? And he had all these ideas. Like he was like, you should write a book and we should do this. He wanted me to do this group. Like I'm supposed to like go over to his house. He got some studio and I'm supposed to be like a mentor type of person for young ladies or something. I'm like, that's cool and everything, but then he was like, you could write a book. He was like saying all these things like, dude, I don't need you for any of that. Like I could do all that on my own. And what really solidified the fact that that is not the direction I was supposed to go anyway was nothing ever lined up. Like whenever we were supposed to meet, it didn't line up. Like I took that as a sign, like I'm not meant to be doing no collaborations with you. I don't know what your intentions are, what your motives are. I have no idea. But he was really like, I believe in the most high and all that. So, you know, I didn't feel like he was like dangerous or anything, but I kind of feel like maybe he was trying to use me. I don't know. I trust my little intuition or when I feel like some shit ain't right, I listen to it. Then I had this other friend. She was like the sweetest lady I ever met in my life. She also helped me out a lot. She was a blessing. She was trying to do the same thing. She was trying to get me like to do all these things. Like you should make shirts and you should do this and like she wanted to do all this work for like nothing. Like I'm just supposed to like do all this. Like I had to like I had a befriend. I had to like not be friends with her anymore. Like it was sad, but cannot be having nobody trying to use me for it was crazy. That's just how I felt. And like I said, I listen to what I feel. And if I feel like something ain't right, it ain't right. The crazy thing about that situation was like, I don't know if you ever met anybody that like they like use religion to like make them seem like trustworthy, you know? And then she tried to guilt trip me. She was like, she wanted to do this. I loved her dream. Like she wants to put a men's shelter here because we don't really have one. And I was like, that would be a beautiful idea. Like she like was trying to do all these plans and stuff, and she was like incorporating me and stuff that I just wasn't interested in doing. And she said to me like, if I don't do it with her, it's not gonna happen. That was it for me. When she said that, I was like, you know what? That's crazy. That's something crazy to say. Because if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. It's not gonna be determined on me. I've been stripped of a lot of people in the last 5 years. That's what happened when you grow. A lot of people can't go with you where you're going. And you gotta be open to change too. A lot of people are not open to change. They stay stagnant in their situations, which a lot of times your environment and your situation will cause your depression. It will causes your low self-esteem. It's the people that you wow. You touch my heart, girl. I'm sure with this girl that I used to feel so bad for her because she used to like cut herself. And I used to like have to check her wallet when she come to my office and see if she has any blade just to help her. And the smart thing that she did was she started tattooing herself. So that is such a brilliant idea. I mean, you shouldn't cut yourself, but you know, you're dealing with emotional stuff. And I think with her, it was like her environment. Your environment plays a very vital role. how you feel is gas facts too. That's not just that's honest to God shit. Right. I like reconnect with people after almost 20 years and they be the same damn people they were 20 years ago. That's crazy. And sometimes people with that deal with self-esteem, some of them are very arrogant and very narcissistic. And they never hold themselves accountable. Nothing's ever their fault. Because that friend, he was so like arrogant, but I didn't think that he truly believed what he was saying. Or I don't. I think he dealt with self-esteem, and he was an alcoholic. I always think that that's an underlying issue too. When somebody's alcoholic, like they're trying to like escape life and need therapy. And I say escape life because when I used to drink a lot, like I literally used to come home from work and have a freaking fifth of Bacardi 151, 100 proof. And I used to be fucked up every single day. One time I went to work hungover. Oh my gosh, they sent me home that day. Luckily, I'm very blessed. Like people like working with me because I'm a hard worker. And the person that was the boss that day, she was like, "I'm gonna send you home. I'm not gonna rate you up." I was still drunk from the night before. I was just up all night drinking. And I used to be evil as ever when I used to drink. First of all, I was in a horrible relationship. Probably the worst relationship I ever been in my life. Like I hated my life. Like it was just terrible. And it didn't help that my environment, everybody was an alcoholic. Everybody drank. It was like a party house. That's why it's important. Be mindful of the environment that you're in because that just intensified, the fact that it was a party house, so I could just drink and bullshit. And I was mean too. Like, I'm glad that those days are over. But that was like a life change. I had to change literally my entire life around me. Like I had to. And it was very hard to be, I think I was like 20, to be 20 and leave a relationship that you're in, like since you was, you know, 17 and whatnot. And for everything in your life to just change, like I went from being dependent on another person for everything, babysitter, ride to work, rent, like everything. I was so dependent. And it was like destroying me. Like it was a very unhealthy way to live. Because I dealt with self-esteem issues because he was a cheater. Then, then that made me look at myself different because, like it was a mess. But that experience itself taught me, one, what made me really get out is I used to work at McDonald's. I was like at this time, I was just like just a crew person. And I worked with this older lady and she was like the coolest lady ever. And back in the day, I used to tell all my fucking business to people that probably really didn't even give a fuck. But this lady, I told her, I was telling her my business and how I wanted to leave, but I couldn't because, he was my babysitter, he was my bride and everything. And I swear to you, what she told me changed my life. And it was the most real shit anybody ever told me ever. And When she told me that, it was like a switch went in my head. Like, it was like, oh, okay. Like she was challenging me. That's what it felt like. And what she told me was, if I really wanted to leave, I would. Just that simple phrase changed my life. And I seen her when I was working at Walmart, and I wanted to go up to her and tell her that, like, how her statement, like, changed, like, the way I even thought about that my situation. Like, it gave me the drive to do everything that I needed to do to be independent and never rely on another person ever again. And I haven't ever since. And I don't think I ever will. Like, and I tell my daughter that too. That's definitely one thing I tell her. Like, if a person, you need, first of all, you need to take care of yourself. Don't be dependent on nobody else because you're gonna be screwed. Um, and also not to like be dating somebody that can't do anything for you. And I'm not saying like I'm a gold digger because I'm not. I do not care about material things. They're nice, but it's not a necessity for me. But I don't want to be dating somebody that is just as broke as me. Like if I needed help, that person can't even help me, and it should be vice versa. Like I would help too. I have helped in the past, but I just don't want my daughter to ever be in that type of situation. Like it was terrible what I had to do but I did it. I feel like I persevered through pretty much everything, but definitely wasn't always like that. What I used to do is run for everything. When stuff's like got hard or I wouldn't even address anything, I'll just be like, just be quiet and not say nothing. Now I definitely speak my mind. It's just crazy how much of a 360, like even myself, I'm like a different person than I was before, which is a good thing. If you don't have any change in you, you're not growing. Oh, shoot, I dropped my towel. I like how this is coming out. One time I confronted my sister and I was like, you need to be your own cheerleader. You don't need validation from other people. And her response to that was, sometimes you got to hear somebody else's opinion. And I'm like, that's fair. That's a fair statement. But if you continuously look for everybody else's approval, you're going to be so unhappy because you're not going to get the results that you want. Or she's going to get the crazy results, which she seems to attract crazy. Or you ever have somebody like brag about something that like it's not even nothing to brag about? For example, street fighting. Oh yeah, I just go out there and we just street fight. Or you be like, oh, that's a nice picture. And then they say, oh yeah, I stole that when I was a manager in such and such place. Like, oh my gosh, there's no shame. I would be so embarrassed. Be like, yeah, I stole that picture. Like it's something to be proud of. That's terrible. I would like to say. Somebody told me that before. They're like, I was like, that is such a nice picture. And they're like, oh yeah, I stole it when I was a manager. I wonder why your ass ain't got no job now. And then they say, don't act like you ain't never stole. And yeah, we all have stole, but it's not like a lifestyle. I'm not just gonna go out stealing. I like to stay out of jail. I like my bed. Like, right. Yeah. So this house is coming out pretty cute. I think I wanted to leave it like really, I don't know if I want to add or do the stairs. Do I want to make bushes or do I not?
This is what
I kind of just like the house.
where I just was still dry.
No,
Nothing here is finished.
no background. Straight lines are not my strength at all.
It's slightly behind the beat.
sitting here thinking about like the little things that I used to do when I was like a teenager. And it's all like to do with like my low self-esteem that I had. Like back when we had like phone lines, I would be like just waiting by the phone for a certain person to call me. And it's just crazy. The stupid stuff, even that you tolerate. Like you tolerate the obvious ass, like shit that you know, like, and for what? A little bit of attention from someone. It's crazy. That used to be real important to me, I think. Like attention from people. Jeez. Just sitting here, just thinking about, like, just reflecting on, oh my gosh, and how much of a change today me it is. Like today, you will go into a store and I'll like not make eye contact with people just so they don't come and up and talk to me. Like, I didn't come in here for that. I want to get in and get out. It's crazy. It's gross. I guess. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do a background. I like this just like this. Sitting here looks nice. You know what does hurt self-esteem though too? Social media. Not me personally. I don't have issues with my self-esteem anymore. I don't care about what people are doing on social media. I know back in the day, like I used to go to school with this one girl. She's a lawyer. And I used to be like so like, I don't know, jealous, I guess. Like we went to the same school. I had the same opportunities as her. She's like this big time lawyer. I had to like get off social media. It does mess with you struggle with self esteem, stay your ass off social media because that shit will make you depressed.
Every breath I take, you're in it somehow.
For real.
Got me lost in your rhythm right here, right now.
It is a mindset too.
Oh, baby, we sing. Yes,
Like even envying people is not very good. 'Cause that like really messes with your self-esteem. It's the tricky part. The words are gonna be light. I like this house. It's cute. I was a little skeptical at first. The sketch was dope.
My thoughts is yours. Everything I can ignore when you're here running life. So my thoughts.
I gotta be careful.
My voice is yours. My thoughts is yours. When we argue, even silence me. I can feel your before you.
I take my time around the letters.
Ain't no side here to find this truth. It's spiritual cause me and you. But when I was change, two souls, one thing, one day.
I just thought of my friend. I had this one friend. She's been my friend. We've been friends since we were like 12 years old. She used to live across the street from me. Her name is Jackie. And just like a couple months ago, we used to go live. I used to go to her house and we used to do my live at her house. And she was talking about how I used to struggle with my self-esteem. And she used to be like, and she's not shallow either. You should see her kid's dad. My friend don't have no filter, y'all. None. Like I remember when I started dating one of my kids' dads, and her mom was like, "Are you blind?" Like I'm telling you, man, your self-esteem will have you fooled. Not that looks is everything. I'm not saying looks is everything. I'm definitely not shallow.
We had it all like that.
definitely today we would have not have made that decision because it was like probably the worst relationship in my life. And not too long ago, my mom said that like because that relationship, his girlfriend broke up with him like I want to say a year and a half ago after 18 years. And my mom was like, "Oh, you should get back with him." Oh my gosh. I told my mom, "Mom, I'm not going to say what I said because I don't want to hurt his feelings, but like, heck no. Never. Never in life." Let's take a breath before we get. My mom's like one of those people that she'll like she'll like be in a relationship with somebody just so she not by herself. Like she like I don't know there are a lot of women like that. They just need a person, need a man, need a not if it's gonna cost me my peace. Like heck no. Sometimes I'm trying to live my best life every day. I'm not trying to be bothered with nobody. Just rewind, so let's not tell them how to fight. We still. And you know what I noticed too? Like I feel like when you're mean to dudes or when you like reject them, they just want to come at you even harder. Like that's crazy. He spoke to you in months and you invited me out somewhere. Like that is crazy. And I blazed you online. I don't get that. But one time I was so mean to this dude on purpose. Like, first of all, like I met him at like a Save a Lot and I was like, no eye contact, no eye contact. I don't want him to come over and talk to me. And he did. And man, I was trying to get rid of him. So tough. Like I was so mean. It's like some dudes like that shit. They like you to be evil. I don't get it. Everything I did, he's just like it would never push him away. I don't maybe he dealt with self-esteem issues. I think more men than we realize deal with that. That's why they're always so arrogant. Not all of them, but a lot. My ex-husband told me, I ain't never gonna find nobody better than him. Anybody I date's gonna cheat on me. Which was so funny because that guy there to say something like that. You wish him that on me? He's also a person that needs a person. Like some people, like they get in relationships just because they don't want to be by themselves. It's like crazy. They get into miserable ass situations. To each his own, right? This, oh my gosh, these are so small. And as I think about it, I know somebody else that needed constant validation. Maybe he struggles with low self-esteem. Like he's one of those like, I don't know, like you see him like, did you miss me? Or one time I was like, I got this because he really liked jazz. So I was like, I got this Santa and it reminds me of you. And he says, it should. Like that arrogance there, buddy. I feel like you're dealing with some low self-esteem issues. It made me want to drive past his house to see what his girlfriend looked like. That's a pet peeve of mine. I cannot stand an arrogant person. This it's good to like have some kind of self-esteem and be confident. But arrogance, that's probably the most annoying thing for me. Color, I think I'm gonna do it yellow to go with the windows. I think my house is kind of fire. But validation is loud and work is quiet. So I need to think about writing a book too. I feel like my life has a lot of interesting stories and of a lot of perseverance too. From the shit I went through as a kid and even the stuff I went through as an adult. I don't have any like horrible stories as an adult. Like I did things that I probably should have went to jail for, but so one thing that I've always struggled with is emotion. Like letting my emotions control my actions basically. And that is something that I'm just now, like within the last year, have been controlling much better. But I also think it is too, like the lack of people that I'm around. Like I used to talk to this one dude that every time I would be around him, it would bother me. And for me, like I want to know why. Why does it bother me so much? Like, and the answer to that was like I wasn't supposed to be around him, but definitely wasn't listening to my inner self. Orange or orange and yellow. Let's do that. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. Let me see if I drop my brush. This is what? Right. Oh, that's a habit of mine. Gotta do it without touching the damn canvas. That's the hardest thing. Putting like my whole hand down there.
You're walking slow, like you own the night. Every look you give, got the room on fire. I try to make
You know, I like that, like,
but my heart won't chill. You're the spark, baby, and I'm the girl. Yeah, you know what you do. I'm all over you. Every move you can't help but say. Every move you make, every move.
my little orange yellow looks pretty good.
Moving close, I know not cool. Baby, that's sexy, that's sexy. Show me. No rush, no need to expect to do what's for me. Your body speaks, I understand. We don't need words, just take
And now the little letters.
every move you make. Just a smile, this, you pull me, pull me. I knew it was you, baby, that's for sure. This was your
Don't put your hand down.
breaking hearts, that's all you're good for. Sit down, she feel your name. Ain't no love in that heart of yours, baby. Heart, where is like a chain?
Clean that up.
Yeah. Heart, only like doubles all last part of each line. No time free, look your eyes on light. Every promise fades when the full walks by. You play cold like you don't feel pain. But you just hide it down with someone else's name. Breaking hearts, that's all you're good for. This take down, straight your game. Ain't no love, maybe one day you'll feel what I felt. When I made her show the love you get. 7 days, keep your crown. Heartless queen, running this town. Always you be stay, always strong today. You know I
I'm messing up my you. Oh, shoot.
no love in that part of your baby.
Beautiful thing about feet.
It's take time to be your name. I know love and I heart of yours, baby. Yeah, hard. Got you for you.
My beautiful little house is just about done, you know. Validation is loud and worth is quiet. So, y'all, I want y'all to know you don't have to perform to be valuable. You don't have to be seen to be worthy. And what's real doesn't beg, it simply stands. All right. This is Wet Pink, and I'll see you next time.